Been a digital marketer now for 16 years. I've helped small brands, large brands, and I also worked in digital marketing during the supply chain crisis as a in-house marketer for a freight company, $100 million company. So I got a chance to see how Donald Trump's tariffs played a role. So I'm gonna break down a couple things from a marketing perspective for small business owners, for e-commerce owners, and those that are looking to eventually make money online. Let's get into it. So Trump has said he's gonna reshape the global market.
Did reciprocal tariff of 34%. European Union, we're going to charge them 20%. Vietnam, they charge us 90%. We're going to charge them 46% tariff. Taiwan, 64%. We're going to charge them 32%. Japan, 46%. We're charging them 24%. India, 52%. Switzerland, 61% to 31%. Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, 97%. We're going to bring it down to 49%. United Kingdom, 10%. And we'll go 10%. South Africa, 60%, 30%. Brazil, 10%. Bangladesh is 74%. Pakistan, 58%.
In terms of manufacturing, because we're not manufacturing a lot of the products that we have here in America. We're outsourcing them across seas and we get a cheaper rate and we're able to sell that product, make a profit. But the problem is that these countries don't import our product. It makes it harder for us as Americans to sell abroad. While everybody wants to sell to us, we have a tough time selling to them.
What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily. I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion.
So they put these taxes on Americans when they try to sell in other countries. Countries like China charge 60%. The president recently laid out a full plan that highlighted all of his retaliatory reciprocal tariffs in response to other countries. Now, if you're a supplier, this is a terrible thing for you because it literally breaks your business. I got a chance to see $100 million company have to navigate the waters of tariffs. We literally would check into work and we would have to watch CNN or watch whatever the news was as it pertains to tariffs at that point, as it pertains to supply chain issues. And we have to figure out exactly how we're going to move with the business, how we're going to target customers, because a lot of boats just sat in the water and they didn't offload that stuff. So the country lost billions of dollars from stuff just going to waste alone. So this tariff right here that Trump is rolling out against 180 plus countries is crazy. Some say that this is a critical thing. We always needed this from the beginning.
If Canada and Mexico do not match our tariffs on China, China simply builds car manufacturing plants in Canada. 25% of our economy was in manufacturing. Today, the top 10% control over 60% of the GDP. And that is a direct result of the fact that only 10% of our economy is manufacturing. And the largest share, 20%, is in finance and real estate.
Even a lot of Trump critics, like Nancy Pelosi, said some things about tariffs years back.
That the average U.S. MFN tariff on Chinese goods coming into the United States is 2%, whereas the average Chinese MFN tariff on U.S. goods going into China is 35%. Is that reciprocal? In terms of jobs, this is the biggest and cruelest hoax of all. The China trade supports 170,000 jobs in the United States, 170,000 jobs, whereas our imports from China support 10 million jobs at least. The fact is that U.S.-China trade is a job loser.
And now she has a totally different perspective on how tariffs should be implemented. So if you're a small business owner and you're looking to get that extra 30% profit that you're used to, that your business is sustaining on, it's going to be difficult for you, because the tariffs are going to make it more expensive. It's going to be paying in the short term. The stock market has dropped more than $4 trillion. It's crazy. It's going to be a bloodbath. But individuals like Warren Buffett has historically said, when there's blood in the street, buy. The market, when it's dropping, buy the dip. That's the best time to buy because you can get companies, pennies on the dollar. You can get stocks at much cheaper rates. It's a good time. But for most people, they fear the dollar being compromised. Now, if you're an online seller and you're looking to make more money online, this is a terrible time to jump into the market if you don't already have product, because a lot of that product is going to be increased upon. The price of it is going to go up. It's going to be a difficult thing for most people trying to build their business. Now, when this all play out, and a lot of these countries come to their senses, it can mean a good thing for Americans wanting to sell in their country. If you want to sell to China as American, you have to have somebody that is from the actual country become half owner. And at that point, we potentially have the opportunity to sell in China. Completely backwards, but it's perfect for their system and it's terrible for ours. So I feel like on one hand, I see what the president is doing and it makes a lot of sense. And on the other hand, it's kind of like, man, we really need eggs to go up even more in cost? Do we really need to make our food more expensive? It's a give and take, but it's something that could potentially be good. Countries don't accept our produce. They don't want nothing to do with our produce. They don't want to accept it. We have too many other things that are in the food, and that's where RFK comes into place. Like, he's going to actually do what he says he's going to do with making Americans more healthy. It starts with the food. So if he's working on the food, that gives us the ability, once these tariffs are figured out, we can send our food to other countries. They accept our food. It can potentially also be a good thing. Difficult for the small business owner because you're going to have to squeeze profits out of something that's going to be more expensive, and the consumer is not going to want to spend more money. So it puts a lot of people in a tough situation that want to advance. Like, it's like you're in a catch-22. It's going to cost me 20-30% more to buy this now because of these tariffs. You're going to have to roll this price over on the customer, and the consumer is not going to go for that. Consumer is going to be hit from 1,000 different ways, but it's really in the consumer's interest to actually weather the storm, as unfortunate as it sounds. A lot of people say that this is the end of America. This is a bad thing. This is terrible for our economy. We can't accept this. We're already experiencing inflation. But if they're able to navigate these waters and import $600 billion, as they say they may get from all of the tariffs, $600 billion coming into the country. And then you have Europe saying, hey, we're not going to invest in America. But a lot of times, Americans don't even sell to Europeans. That's the crazy part. They do more selling to us through major brands than we do with them. So, and coupled with all of that, being a small business owner, we have the aspect of AI. AI is a destructive force. It's disrupting the entire online business, make money online space because it's making things more consolidated. You're going to need less people in your company. You're going to need more A players in your company that minimal roles, simple data entry or phones for that matter are going to get put to the side because of AI. So you're dealing with a supply chain crisis and you're dealing with AI. It's a crazy thing. The best position for a lot of business owners to be potentially right now is in manufacturing, because if a manufacturer's start to build more in America, the process of starting a warehouse to sell more to get a better rate becomes a very lucrative thing. So if all of these companies actually come back to America, like Trump says, that can mean a lot of jobs, especially in the AI revolution that's currently taking place right now. Now, mindful, they're going to be higher skill type jobs. Somebody's going to have to manage the robots. But for the most part, those jobs being here as opposed to being abroad is a good thing. I mean, even Bernie Sanders have highlighted the potential with manufacturing here in America. Bernie Sanders has even gone so far as to say that outsourcing jobs to China and other countries is detrimental. Like disrupt 400,000 jobs in Vietnam, and that's going to mess up things over there. But what if we had those 400,000 jobs here in America? We were able to actually employ more people as opposed to outsourcing it to some country that's going to pay their people half the price when we can have Americans here making money. I think this is really going to push a lot of small business owners, online sellers, people that sell online to really want to manufacture here locally. It'll be cheaper. If going across seas and you're spending pennies on the dollar, you can manufacture up the street and pay a little premium, but at the same time, it's made here in the country. You're supporting a business that's going to hire people that are up the street. I feel like that's a plus. Did you know that small businesses employ 62% of the population of the United States? So tariffs is a great thing, but long term, the financial impact can affect everybody, especially the golden age that Trump said he want to bring about for America. AI it has potential. You're a small business owner. It definitely has potential for you, and it's minimizing a lot of roles, getting rid of unnecessary roles. It sounds so terrible, but it's true. It's going to be that where they said the world is going to experience the first billionaire that's a one-person company. Like, can you imagine that? The automation alone for $1 billion enterprise is hard to quantify in itself. So yet alone building these things as 5-people teams, companies getting smaller. You see a lot of layoffs starting to happen that need to start thinking about the business aspect, thinking about how can they have a future or some kind of ownership in the new economy that's starting to develop. Because if you have folks like Elon Musk and XAI and Grok and all of these things actively working and everything that's going on with Doge, we see a complete reshaping of the government that's taking place right now. So it's like, how do you position yourself as someone that want to grow? Well, the reality is building your own brand. And if you want to connect with someone that has a background in digital marketing, that has spent the last 16 years navigating these waters from a corporate, small business, large company, in-house digital marketer perspective, feel free to reach out to me. My link is in the description. It's KaseyDoesMarketing.com. Thank you for your time. Oh, and also, I just dropped my brand new book, man, Internet Hustle. The link is in the description. Make sure you go get it. Drop a comment online, man. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, share it. Your support means everything.